Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
Hey, everybody, we are back. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Squatch-D TV. How are you, Chris?
Steve, doing good, man. I hope you're doing all right in New York. Nice weather here in Kentucky. Cool days, cool nights. Lots of lawnmower work been going on.
Yeah, well, we're officially into a cold snap right now. Yesterday it was 82. Today we had a high of 62.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 82 is kind of warm for October anyway. It's really weird.
Right.
So people are still mowing their lawns. Usually we're done my lawn mowing this time of year.
It's slowing down some. I figure maybe another time or two and it'll be done, hopefully. And then we'll, mow up leaves.
Well, now that my official speaking engagement tour is just about done, because we have another announcement to make tonight, something that everybody will be interested in, and it's only a couple of short weeks away. And it's going to be on YouTube. But I had some time to reflect over some of the shenanigans that went on behind some people's backs, particularly mine. And one of my good friends said, hey, yeah, we heard this. We actually heard it with our own ears. But we didn't want to say nothing because we want to upset you. And I was like, well, it is what it is. And it did bother me, and I had to think about it. But I would never have made a scene or anything like that at the conference or the festival.
Right.
It's just not the proper time. So now we take it and put it all into perspective. So anyway, let's see who we got in the chat tonight.
Oh yeah. Let me scroll up here.
First in, it's Roy Longley.
Hey, Roy.
Representing the Lurkers, Mick. Mick is in the house.
Hey, Mick.
Pete H., how are you? Karen Fisher. Grant Rasha in the house. Grant, how you been, brother? Jen, what's going on?
Jen.
Sandra Piper. John, Sasquatch Wizard, Adirondacks.
John? Yeah, I'm looking.
Roker Gupta is in the house. Roker, good to see you, my friend.
Welcome back.
Sharon, what's going on? Sally, how are you?
Sally?
Don Come Out Jr., how are you?
Don? Wow.
So, yep.
I'm lost.
And we got a bunch of lurkers out there. And there's Doug Gear. What's up, Doug? Good to see you again.
Corn Cob Say.
Corn Cob Say. Hey, there he is.
Right. Welcome.
Yes, Corn Cob has been in and out of chat here and there. He's here just a couple of nights. Bob Hip, hello, Bob. Good to see you, my
Bob.
friend. So, yeah.
Let's see. Angel Nolan. Hey,
Angel, what's up? T Guzzler, hello.
Did you get Doug Gear?
It's good to see. Yep, Doug's in there. Yeah, it's good
Bob
to see
Hip.
all these new names. Bob, hello.
Welcome.
Bob. Man.
We got a Bigfoot festival thing going on in Park City, Kentucky this weekend.
There you go.
Just type it in on Google if you want to look up the info.
Our good friend Alex Petikoff will be there as well.
Alex is going to be there. Taters is going to be there. David Wickham.
Hey, Kathy Zabrowski. Good to see you.
Kathy, welcome.
So, so let's just go on with this big announcement here that on YouTube on October 8th, there'll be a Patterson Gimlin, basically an online live stream mini conference going on YouTube. And there's Ryan Gomboleski is going to be the master of ceremonies, and it'll feature Ron Reed, Emily Fleur, Nikki, our good friend Nikki Cologne, and of course, Blah. So
Okay.
I'll give you 3 guesses what I'm doing about the Patterson Gimlin Bell.
Well, I don't know. You're going to be talking about the timeline? Or...
Debunking the debunking.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yes, well, the timeline is part of that.
Yes.
So,
yes, yeah.
So that'll be again
Good
October
stuff.
19th, 2025 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So,
I'll have to check that out. That's going to be 2:30 Central?
mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So 1:30 Mountain, 12:30 Pacific.
Pacific, yes, that's right.
It's specific. Remember the Family Guy episode where it was specific time?
Specific, yeah.
Specific.
Not Pacific, specific. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, man. I used to live on Mountain Time. I kind of liked it. It's pretty cool.
I used to live on Mountain Dew. So where do I begin with this? How things got ugly?
When Bigfoot research turns ugly. Well, that can happen with anything, though, Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
You can have people, there are
Right.
certain types of people, they can ruin anything they get into.
Right.
And it's all about the negativity, I don't like the negativity stuff.
Well, it's not necessarily about the negativity. It's, it's about a lot of things. And we'll get into it.
Yeah.
By the way, I wrote a blog for those who didn't know. I don't know if I did. I did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday
10/7.
morning.
Yep.
And I kind of brushed it up a little bit last night. And it goes on to say that, basically, I was asked to fill in for Dr. Jeff Meldrum at the New York State Bigfoot Conference. And I will also say this, that none of this ugliness even originated or started at the New York Bigfoot Conference. That was perfect. Everything there went perfectly.
Right.
And it was a great crowd, great interactions, got to talk to a lot of people. But I want to make, first, I just want to educate people. I'm going to go to the last end of my blog rather than to the beginning of it, is that, there's a difference between a conference and a festival. Because a festival kind of embraces the culture of Bigfoot and Bigfoot research in a little bit. And that the Bigfoot piece, the research piece in a festival is just a small component of it. It's about having fun. It's about community. It's about, having a few laughs.
Right.
Right. As well as getting out and meeting the people. For my side of things, it's, it's part of, getting out to meeting people, and then you hear some stories and whatnot, which is really great.
Yeah. People can share experiences if they want.
Right. But then you have the conference, which is built for the speakers. That's where people come who really want to do the deep dive. That's why conferences generally have a lot less attendance than like festivals.
Right. Because it's mainly researchers that are, in the bush. They want to find out how to go about finding these things easier and stuff. Yeah.
That's right, Jen. Fair food. When you go to the festivals, lots of fair food.
Yes. Bottle cakes.
Fried Oreos.
Just like I need them, but, I'll probably take one anyway.
That's right. Have you ever had a fried Oreo?
I don't think I have. I mean, fried everything, but I don't think I've eaten
They're
fried
so
Oreo.
good.
I did. One of my favorite blizzards from Dairy Queen was an Oreo blizzard. I like those. So a fried Oreo may be good.
Grant says they ran out of pulled pork for the tacos at the festival. That's when it turned ugly.
Oh no.
So anyway, so the day progressed. As far as like the Whitehall Sasquatch, great event. And you know what?
Yeah.
Again, perfect event. Had a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people.
Right.
And then time to go up to the mountain.
Yeah.
And like I said, unusually, it's rather warm it was like a 75, 78 degree day, the day of the festival, which is pretty warm for September 29th.
This time
in
of
New York
year.
State.
Yeah. Right.
so we go up to the mountain, and it's, still in the low, late 60s. It's still like 67, 68. Yeah. And the place is packed with campers everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of hampers the research. So we found a place to hang out for about 4 or 5 hours away from everybody. And we did zero research because and anything you're going to have, it's going to be pretty much contaminated. And it was far away from where the usual activity occurs.
Yeah.
And, but it was at that time, a few of the people there had said, "Hey, what's up with so-and-so? He seems kind of crusty." Well, what do you mean? Well, we don't want to hurt your feelings, and we don't want to get you upset, but this is what he was saying. And he wasn't only talking about me, but he was talking about one other researcher that was up there who I don't want to drag into this. Mm. But he wasn't saying anything about our research. He just was like, "Can you believe Kulls is, got picked for, filling in for Meldrum at the New York State Bigfoot?" And he was telling this to people, right, that were coming to his table, and they were kind of like looking at him like,
Negative Nancy. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that guy's full of crap. But meanwhile, this guy comes by me. "Oh, how you doing, Steve? What's going on? How you been?" Right? Then he goes back to his table and starts bad-mouthing me.
I don't like that.
And this is a guy I've known for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Well, I mean, he should respect you enough to say what he's going to say behind your back to your face first.
Well, okay. Okay. So
he should,
So let me go to our good friend Grant, who was there. Yeah. Grant was like my bodyguard for the day. It really was. Grant says it was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the amount of traffic there. And he says,
"Awesome. Yeah.
Oop, no, that's not the line. It was like, you can use my name." He was one of the people that heard that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And, I understand that people didn't want to tell me because they know I can get a little feisty, but usually when I'm in a public setting, I'm very controlled. Very controlled.
Yes.
And thank you, Mike, who says it's a sad community now when egos and dollars are involved as a standard to get ahead. Reputation of things are taking a back seat.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing is let me say this. The person that was making those comments, I have the utmost respect for. He took abuse for years. And then in 2003, he decided to get more active into research and say, damn them, right? And go forward. I respected that. I admired the guy. We had a lot of friendly and fun interactions over the years.
Right.
So I don't know where this is coming from, other than the fact that perhaps he thought maybe he should have been selected to speak or in lieu of Dr. Meldrum. But think about it, if you have a footprint as that guy does, and that's not a bad thing, mind you.
Right.
Right? I took my path a different way. He chose to go one way. I chose to go another as far as, what I'm going to investigate, where I'm going to investigate, who I'm going to investigate, and how I investigate.
Right.
But his anger was not based on anything I've done or not done. It was based on my thoughts or just ego. Why they should have picked me? That's what I'm thinking. He was thinking in his head. When you get that big head that he thinks he's the big dog. Well, he may be the big dog, maybe locally in Whitehall, or at least he thinks he is. And that's why I think he has a beef with this other person that I'm not going to name, because that person in Whitehall has a big reputation too. So it seems like he's just getting mad at people who have a bigger reputation than him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. You got to put the work in. And no offense, but writing a 96-page book versus somebody who's written almost 1,000 pages in books. Sorry.
I don't know, man. I'm just not into this. It's
right. Yeah.
People.
Right. Exactly.
People want to measure up their reputation. Just.
Yeah. The problem is that he expects everybody to come to him but nobody knows them. And that's the issue there.
Isn't that that's what's called being a legend in your own mind, you know?
Could be.
Not necessarily in reality there, but he's thinking, you know, maybe I'm a legend.
Thank you.
I don't know. But the thing is, you know, when he builds up his reputation more, then these shows and stuff that are these guys, you know, NatGeo, will start knocking on his door, you know, and he won't have to be, you know, trying to put himself out there and in the public eye to try to get those things. They'll come knocking, and that's what's same with you. I mean, you've been doing the research so long. I mean, you know, all these people. That's why you've been on TV so much. They came knocking. You know, it's not like that you're.
So,
begging
Chris,
to be put on, you know?
Just so you know, I'm getting a warning from StreamYard that my connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router. Well, I am plugged into my router. It's not my problem. It's StreamYard's problem.
Well, they've got a bandwidth problem then, evidently, because you don't. Yeah.
Right. I certainly don't.
Yeah.
Because everything else is working just fine here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you've not been hanging up or anything, and
yeah.
I don't for a minute believe that those other times when it seemed like your internet was hanging up, I don't think that was you. I think that was
exactly
StreamYard issue, because you've got a lot faster internet than I have, and mine ain't slow. I might be in Kentucky, but our squirrels are running on high octane stuff around here.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Oh man.
Well, thank you, Grant. I appreciate that.
Let me bring up some of these points, mate.
Sure.
Sally said one of the things I dislike about this community is the competition and jealousy. It's unnecessary, unproductive, and immature. I agree 100%.
But let's be clear. Let's be clear about the word jealousy. See, this is where jealousy runs into play when somebody starts making a comment. Oh, the Kulls is doing that. It's filling in for Meldrum. That's jealousy, right?
Yeah.
If I turn around, if he turns around and criticizes my evidence,
right,
I don't have that argument of jealousy. That's the word jealousy hoaxers like to throw out there a lot, right?
Yeah.
So when you criticize evidence, that's not jealousy. And if you get hit with the jealousy comment about criticizing evidence, you know, then that is completely 100% wrong.
Or if he's got a disagreement with your presentation, you know, he can bring it up during the question and answer session and said, well, Steve, you said this, but I think it's this way. You know, that's the time to bring it up. You know,
right. And Sally says correct. You know, and that's where the jealousy comes in for. And you know what? I don't know why that person would think there should be any competition. We're all on the same team, for crying out loud. It's like YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Before we get to that, it's like YouTube. I don't consider other podcasts my competition, number one. I mean, number two, first of all, we try to do something completely unique. Right. We've kind of changed we're changing the formula day by day and trying to meld it into something a little bit different than what everybody else is doing, which is why we don't do interviews week after week after week anymore.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what everybody's been doing for the last 18 years.
And back when we first started doing YouTube too, we were trying not to have a scheduling conflict with the other shows.
Right.
That way we didn't bump heads with anybody.
Right.
And then after we got started, you know.
But even if we have a scheduling conflict, who cares? You can always catch our show. It's sitting there in perpetuity, and you catch any of the shows, so it's really no competition there. You watch the show, we get the same amount of ad revenue as we get for being live, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly.
Right. So that's my big thing about competition. Number two is, the competitive guys were the original four horsemen who were in the race to find the beast. They all figured within their lifetime they would find that beast.
Yes.
That feeling now has waned. You know, the second generation said, well, if they didn't get it, we'll get it in this generation.
Right.
Well, I think I think we're like the third generation removed from the original Four Horsemen, and of course, all the newer people are like fourth and fifth generation. So,
well, you know, there are some things that that researchers don't share with each other, and I think, or they don't put it out in the public knowledge. They do share with each other
occasionally,
but like right, specific location areas. You know, that's a big one. All right. You wouldn't want to put that information out in the public domain because guess what'll happen? Every Bigfoot researcher or wannabe will be out there stomping around, shining flashlights, and then you will not have any more activity in that area.
You don't want to contaminate your research area.
Exactly. You got to keep the site. What's the professional term, Steve? You want to keep it pure, okay? That's
right. Yeah. You want to keep your crime scene secure. You want to keep it sanitized. You want to keep it salt free. Hello, Boris Kahn.
Don't want your research area compromised. That's the word I was looking for.
Ah, there you go.
But other than that, you know, and there's still, if you know, like Steve and I work together. All right, yeah. There's nothing that I've shared pretty much everything with Steve, a lot of it, but he knows where to come look in Kentucky if he wants to. So you know but that's stuff that I've told him he will not tell the public, and same way with me about stuff he's told me. You know, we don't reveal that,
and that's fine because we each have our own little things, and absolutely, definitely, Grant. The whole crux of the matter is that it may not be competition, but if we have a particular thing, we want to keep it and test it ourselves. That way it keeps it, you know, and then once it's finished, then we can send it out to everybody and everybody else can try it.
I'll tell you what, for a little while after that, the guy that took a shot at Bigfoot story over at Mammoth Cave, you know, there for a little while, well, man, there were a lot of people over there.
I get Roker's point here, where many people in who research Bigfoot treat it like a treasure hunt. Well, yes and no. Because here's the thing. When you have a science experiment at a particular science lab, they don't tell all the other science labs what they're doing. Right? They do it first.
Yeah.
They write up the papers, and then they send it out.
Right. Yeah. To see if the other people can reproduce those.
There's a question by Kaiju. I'd love to get to that.
Kaiju says, have you had any arguments, confrontations with people while out in the field?
Only with the Biscardi team, who were prone to do some ridiculous things at times. I was like, this is wasting our time. But no, not really. No, I can't say I have had many I've had any confrontations, because it's like, okay, you want to try something? Go right ahead. That's the whole purpose, you know, is to try to do something.
Grant says our research area was compromised. Yeah, that happens, Grant. Yeah. And that's the nice thing too, though, about going out in the early spring and the late fall is when it's good, cool weather. Not many people go camping.
So, Roker, here's a really interesting thing. For about 10 years, I preached, I taught at conferences, I've written books about classifying sighting reports a little bit of a different way. The behavior to what the primate type of territory it would be. It was like one ear and out the other. For 90% of the people, it was in one ear, out the other, and that was it.
Yep. Get Duck says, I've seen people stand around and argue what a true researcher even is. Just stop. That's true.
Agreed.
If you're interested in Bigfoot,
And I've
you're a
always said that
researcher.
doesn't matter, if you're a desktop researcher.
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, when I worked for some of the biggest investigation companies, we had desktop researchers.
Sure.
I would call them up, hey, I need a social media scrub of this person.
Yeah.
And I would get all that information.
Yeah.
And sometimes they say, hey, I think this person is going to be here today. Beautiful, thank you.
Great to have, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's a place for everybody on the research realm, whether they sit behind a computer all day and research, or whether they're out in the field and research, or whether they talk to witnesses and investigate. Yeah. All very important.
And, the research reminds me of, I think back to our friend Henry May. Oh my gosh, the man is a walking, talking encyclopedia of information on Bigfoot. Anything and everything you could ever think to know, he already knows it. He's good. He's good. Henry's good.
Kaiju asked another question, by the way, too. Now we got a little question marks near him, which is really good. There you go.
Kaiju says, have you had people compromise research locations of yours?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Not locally, but out of state, yes. I remember there was one time in Kentucky, absolutely. Yeah. We were actually being followed.
Yeah.
And spied on. We'd sit at the hotel. We were watching the person watching us.
Yeah.
And how I knew it, too, I'd be like, I was doing the counter surveillance. I'd be like, watch. Here comes this RV. If it parks between us and that vehicle there, they're going to move. The RV parked between the vehicle watching us and the RV, and it moved. And when the RV left, it moved back to its original spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we're being watched.
That's your private investigator showing through, though. You could probably you make some predictions about their behavior because you know what they're doing.
Right.
Little rascals.
So, how we solved that one was we went right up to them. How you doing? Here's a business card. You need any help? Give us a call. Have a nice day. Guy looked like he pooped his pants.
Blew his cover. Dang it. Yeah. These things happen, though.
And that was in a parking lot. But has anybody ever falls in the field? No, because that's people worry about. Let's just say that particular crew was an armed contingent, so it wouldn't be wise to go follow somebody. Yeah.
But, as far as your research area, you want to be careful, who you show or who you tell or who you take, because if they're going to put it out in the newspaper, it's best not to tell them. I trust most of the people that I know, and I wouldn't be afraid to take anybody that I know out there with me.
There's our buddy Chuck. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you.
Hey, Chuck. Chuck Truther. Good to see you, man. Welcome. But, there is some secrecy. There is. But I don't think it's like, anything devious, though. I mean, it's just people trying to protect their research area.
Yep.
But now the information that's come out of it, though, that's shared with everybody.
Well, the whole idea is, to boot, that you want to maintain that sanitization of your area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's important. Another question, this one from Mike Patrick.
Yeah. Mike says, Steve, is there one person in the Bigfoot community that you look up to with regards to good, proper research techniques? It's a good question.
Well, there's several. First and foremost, like I said, my mentor was Bill Brand, who was an avocational and amateur archaeologist as well. Thomas Steenberg, another great guy, boots on the ground, looking and putting that. But I've had a lot of people in my day, either inadvertently or outright become my mentors. Bill Brand being one of them, Paul Bartholomew being another one. My unwritten one was Dick Marchenko, and very much firm believer in his philosophies, a lot of his philosophies. And I don't even know if you know who Dick Marchenko is, Chris.
Do not.
Okay. So Dick Marchenko was, it's funny, Grant and I kind of ran into this, but I Dick Martin, hang on. This is Dick Marchenko right here.
Okay.
He was the founder of SEAL Team 6.
Ah, okay.
And I started reading his books, his original book, The Rogue Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And he subsequently had some fictional titles go down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Different things. He created something within SEAL Team 6 called the Red Cell,
Right.
which would go around and test military installations. And that caused a lot of embarrassment for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so...
His job was to find security breaches, right?
Well, he also properly called the Beirut embassy bombing back in the, I think it was 82, when Hezbollah blew up the Marine barracks in Beirut, causing the life of 256 Marines.
Yeah.
But he has a great leadership book. He also has a business secret book. So, he has what he calls the 10 commandments of being, a spec warrior, which was,
I wouldn't expect you to quote them off the top of your head, Steve.
No. Verily, thou art not paid for thy methods, but for the results.
That makes sense.
Thou shalt never assume. Thou shalt keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, that's Kiss. I know that one. Keep it simple, stupid.
If thou hurteth in thy efforts, and thou suffer painful dings, then thou art doing it right. Right.
So, full name was Richard. Let me spell that last name for me, babe.
Marchenko, Marcinko.
Marcinko.
Yep.
Okay, I'll start looking up some of his books.
But commandment number 1 was always, I am the warlord and wrathful God of combat, and I will always lead you from the front, not the rear. Mm-hmm. Always took that one.
That's good. Yeah, yep. That's important.
Always took that one too. But yeah, that was one of my.
A good leader is always never willing to put his troops through something that he's not willing to put himself through first. That's the main thing. And Kaiju Ninja's got another one here. It says, I was going to ask this on the last show, but do you think Bigfoot is endangered, nearing extinction?
I don't think so. I don't think so either. If you think about it, sightings have actually increased over the years.
Yeah, I think they're doing very well. A lot of questions, though. It's just,
again, that's completely
the cards
a non-scientific answer. Yeah. So I really can't.
Right. That's just opinions. Okay.
Opinions. I don't know why I'm staring at the mic. I should be staring at the camera. But yeah, it's just a completely.
I think they're doing very well, and it may very well be that they've always been doing well, but just people hadn't been paying any attention to them and being in certain areas. And now that their awareness about Bigfoot is increased due to shows and stuff like that, and conferences and these little festivals, I think more people are on the lookout for them and maybe notice them more often.
Pete H has a good question.
Yeah, Pete. Pete says, what is your thought about the Sasquatch hibernating during the winter?
Well, primates do not have the particular metabolism like a bear. And they don't have the digestive system like a bear does necessarily.
Yeah.
We can't do that. Our brains are very different. Because our brains as a primate need a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, they don't, I don't think they hibernate either, but I do think they may go reasonably inactive for long periods of time during the winter months, I believe, because one thing that would make them so easy to track would be if they left tracks in the snow. Okay, man, anybody and his brother could just follow the tracks back or follow them to the end, and then there he is, you know.
Right.
So I think they tend to kind of stay out of the snow and lay around more in the wintertime.
I mean, do they probably, maybe they cache food? I don't know, but definitely they can't take a long, deep winter's nap.
No,
that doesn't.
I don't think so.
We don't work that quite that way.
No, their digestive system couldn't handle that. I think bears are different too. They'll eat dirt and a lot of other stuff, and they'll kind of plug up their bowels. Well, I know if humans did that, and I know they're not humans. Okay, they're different than humans, but if humans did that, you know, we would die. we couldn't live like that. But bears do, and you know, they'll go out in the spring and then get rid of their
everywhere. Poop.
Yeah. They get rid of their dirt plug and then, you know, clean out the pipes, and then they're good to go. But we can't live like that. And I think, although they're not us, all right, I don't believe they're us. I think they're close enough to us that they would probably not be able to hibernate like we would. We couldn't either. But who doesn't get sleepy in the wintertime, though? Huh? I do. When it's really cold outside, you just want to lay around and sleep and do nothing.
Silver bells. Silver bells.
Think about all the Christmas gifts that you're going to get.
It's time for a diet Snapple. Hear them ring.
Their pipes are clean.
Hear them ring.
Don't get me a Snapple.
It must be soon Snapple Day. Anyway, sorry. That was pretty horrible.
Yes, Chuck. Yes, Chuck. It's a dirt plug. Yes, they. Yeah, they eat dirt. They do. Yeah. And that's gross. That's gross. But you know, hey, that's nature.
Right. I think I've had enough of nature for now.
I ate dirt when I was a kid. You know, if you didn't eat dirt, then I don't know. You're probably sick of every time the wind blows. But I ate dirt when I was a kid, and I'm fairly healthy. I mean, other than, you know, getting plugged up from all the smoking and stuff. But I don't think I'd want to eat enough to get clogged up.
Anyway, just to get back to the original point of the show.
Yeah, back on topic.
Was that my, like I said in my blog, I will continue to show this person the respect, but I won't be ever quite looking him at the same. Is he a friend? Absolutely not. You know, unless he decides to come to me and say, hey, I apologize, and this is why I did it, and I apologize, and won't let it happen again, then I might consider it. But sorry. You know, I fool me once, you know, you're the fool. Fool me twice, and then I'm the fool. So, hello, Mike and Northeastern Expedition.
Yep. I have no respect for anybody that talks crap about me behind my back, and that's fine if they want to do it. Just, you know, be willing to tell me to my face, you know, what you're going to say behind my back. But I don't really like the negativity. And, you know, if you're going to tell me what you're going to say about me behind my back, we're probably not going to be friends, right. And I'm not going to have any respect for you.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he's like, "Oh, how's it going, Steve?"
Yeah,
you know, and then he's you know, 100 feet up the walkway, sitting there spouting trash.
Well, you know, it comes. That's the negativity that I don't like. You've got to be honest, and sometimes, you know, being honest is, you got to be a little bit rude sometimes.
Now, if there is people I don't care for, I may have a private conversation with one of my friends or research compatriots.
Yeah.
But I certainly wouldn't be at my table going, "Oh, you want to avoid that guy?" You know,
yeah, no.
Right.
I've had those people before that come up to me and start talking, and I would just stop them and would say, "Look, you know, I know you, and I don't really want to speak with you or be friends with you because you did this. And that's why. So, you know, no offense. Just have a good day. Just go have it somewhere else." Now that may be rude, but it's to the point and it's honest and it's upfront, and I think that's the world would be a better place if everybody could do that.
Yeah, Mike, I wasn't. This has nothing to do with you guys, Mike. We're talking about something else.
True. Yeah, Grant.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, Grant was there.
I have a whole new appreciation for Grant now. I won't say why, but I certainly do.
And the fact that nobody would tell me while I was there, they wouldn't have ruined my day. It wouldn't have ruined my day, but you know, if I think that was part of the other part. It's like, yeah, we don't want Kulls going over there and blowing up on the guy. I'm not going to do that. I'm much more shrewder. I'm much more shrewder than that.
No. Steve has a temper, but he can hold it. You know.
Hey, why is that guy talking smack over there?
Yeah. It's not like you're going to publicly embarrass somebody.
Somebody asked if the person knows that I know, and I have no idea. He has no social media footprint. So that could be part of the, like I say, exactly part of the problem, of, his ego where it's out here, but where is he?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, Robert Dubin's dropping down the gauntlet over here.
University of Kentucky basketball stinks. See, I'm telling you to your face. Well, Robert, I appreciate that. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I do know that UK basketball is a pretty good team. And I would support them, so, But, whether they win or lose, I don't care, really. But still, I've heard UK is pretty good.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
I'll tell you, it used to be, now, back a long time ago, and this is going to tell you how long it's been since I followed the sports, especially basketball. It was either UK or North Carolina. One or the other, That was the two teams to watch. But, I have no idea what they do now. No idea. Oh, Robert. Don't be dissing on Kentucky, dude. Come on.
Apparently, Robert has forgotten the Kentucky Derby.
He needs to get up there to the Derby and have him a mint julep and, just kind of relax a little bit.
Put him in the funny hat.
It's kind of funny. One of our biggest attractions we have is a hole in the ground. The Mammoth Cave. Who wants to go in a hole in the ground? True story. I took my wife there when she first came here from Thailand, trying to show her the what they call it, the tourist sites, and I hadn't been to Mammoth Cave since like a school trip as a kid because I don't care about that place. But I took her in there and she walked in about 1.5 miles, and they turned the lights out to show everybody how dark it was in the cave, And the guide turned the lights out. Well, she fainted. She fainted, and I had to carry her out, at least 3/4 of a mile before she finally regained consciousness and decided that she was okay to walk, but she was definitely all for leaving, okay? So she has not made the full tour with her. We took her on the historic tour. She made it through the first part where they turn out the lights, and then that's it. She wouldn't know more of that.
I've been on one of those tours where they do that. It sucks. And then you wonder, what if we lose power? Did this thing have a generator?
Well, that's anytime I go in a cave, I'm always prepared because I have my lighter with me, so I could build a fire if I had to, find something to burn. But
likely the person next to you.
But if you're going to a cave though, I did spend a lot of time in caves when I was during my youth, and there was one time Doug Gaines was hey Doug, if you're out there, good to see you, but Doug was going into a cave and he dropped his flashlight, and I had not gone in yet, and he said, "Chris, yell, holler so I can hear your voice." And yeah, he was out there He was in the dark, pitch black, feeling his way along the walls of the cave, listening to my voice calling, over this way, you know. But, you know, that just got me to thinking at that point, from now on, I'm going not only with a flashlight, I'm going with a backup for the flashlight, and then I'm going with a backup for the backup.
And carrying an extra pair of pants that are brown. Yeah, I
wouldn't do it now. It was fun back then, but I wouldn't do it now.
So people ask all the time, do they think Bigfoot habitate caves? And the answer to that is no, because guess what? There's no light in caves.
No?
They don't use fire.
Yeah.
So how would they see?
Yeah.
Because even if they have a tapetum lucidum, they still can't see in absolute darkness.
Yeah. No, Robert, I was just joking, man. I know you're kidding around. I don't take this kind of stuff seriously, guys. Come on. But yeah, I mean, I believe they can see in the dark much better than we can. I don't know how well they can see, but I know they could see to move around better than we can at night. So, you know, I would think their vision in the cave would be much better than ours. But when you take away 100% of all light, you know, man, if you don't have night vision, then you're not going to see nothing. You know, I don't even know, can a dog has good night vision. Can they see in caves? I wonder.
No, anything
know.
that has a tapetum lucidum,
right?
They
still relies
on light. It still relies on light.
Yeah.
So the animals that don't are the ones that they can bioluminesce, and usually there are insects or like a firefly can bioluminesce, or some spiders, like spiders in caves. Don't even have eyes. These cave-dwelling spiders, evolutionary, they've gotten rid of their eyes because they don't operate on sight. They operate on feel and scent.
Right.
So.
But, yeah, it's...
there's another question. Do I think the early hominids had night vision? Just what the fossil record shows. Do not know. Some of the early pongans did. I mean, you have tarsers, I believe, and lorsiers that have tapetum lucidums. But there are no higher primates that have ever had a tapetum lucidum. It could be an evolutionary change because, a Sasquatch would be really the first crepuscular or nocturnal type of creature.
Depending on the conditions, your bloodline would mutate a little bit towards the ones that was better towards surviving.
And again, Kathy, anything with the tapetum lucidum in absolute darkness is still blind as we are in total darkness. Because the tapetum lucidum attracts more light. So if something is in a cave and there is no light source anywhere emitted, it's not going to be able to see.
I think the Sasquatch and Bigfoot, I think they do stay in caves when, they have an opportunity to, kind of like, it's their Motel 6. But as far as living there and going deep, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
There's a lot that would make a very good sense for them to be able to, yes. But the problem was, seeing.
Right.
And even if they have really good night vision, when you take away all visible light, and that's what you get when you're in the middle of a cave, there is no visible light whatsoever. It's just completely black. And they make a point to show you that on that historic tour. They say, okay, hold your hand in front of your face. And you can have your hand right in front of your face, and you cannot see it. Okay, you know it's there because you're holding it, but no, not even 2 or 3 inches in front of your eyes. Nothing.
Zip. Yeah. The whole cave thing. I remember them shutting the lights off at Howe's Cave, which is close to me where I live.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, you can't. It's complete darkness. You can't see anything. Not a thing.
Well, now there was a show. What was it? it wasn't Josh Gates. It was some of his buddies. They went to Mammoth Cave, okay, because there were some reports. This guy was mapping the cave or cave system where nobody else had been before. He was discovering new areas of the cave, and he heard, something rustle in the area where he was at. They weren't alone, him and another guy. And he's like, was that you? No. Was that you? No. There's somebody else in here. There was a distinct presence, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, I always thought maybe that was one of these creatures in there. I don't know.
But could it have been, let's think about this for a minute, though. What is the primary resident of caves? Bats.
Bats, right.
Right. And what do bats operate on?
Yeah.
Sonar.
Sound, right.
Sonar. So they listen, they audibly listen. That's how they do not have good vision at all. They're practically blind. Some are blind.
Yep.
Because they operate on sound and reflective sound. So that beep, 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 sonar. So yeah, that's why you have those bats in caves, because they can move in and out of caves because they don't use eyesight.
Yeah. All echolocation.
Right. If you see like a cat or a predator in a cave, they don't go very deep into the cave.
Right.
They'll stay to where the light is, and then and then if they some of them happen to wander into the absolute darkness of caves, they generally end up dying there because they can't find their way out.
Yeah.
And that's why some places in caves, you go deep into caves and you find bones of animals. Because they found their way in there and they can't get themselves out.
Oh man, let's see. Brian says, didn't the chimps in Africa become conditioned to move at night to avoid the soldiers all day?
Well, that is the key word. Conditioned is culture. Is culture. When you're conditioned to do something, it's culture. And yes, that group did that for a while, but now they don't do it so much. And that can change. It's not something that even if it's more recent, it has to become long enough to become part of the evolution. And a lot of people don't understand, like dogs. If you want to understand evolution, look at your common domesticated dog, and that a dog it's in their DNA now to understand human face reactions. They, at birth, will follow somebody pointing. Right? You can go like that over here, and the dog will go right to it. Point, and your dog will look in the direction.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what can't do that? Chimpanzees can't do that. Wolves can't do that. Foxes can't do that. Only domesticated dogs, because their DNA has changed over time to become symbiotic with us. That's why when you look at a dog, you make a happy face, they get happy. In their DNA, they have that ability now to understand our facial expressions and our body language, and our pitch of voice, which is completely amazing. Yeah. But that's how, eventually, if you do something long enough, evolution will catch up and make a mechanism for that.
Kaiju Ninja said, so if Bigfoot aren't in caves, then where are they living?
The forest floor, just like the chimpanzees, the gorillas, the baboons, the orangutans. Primates are not cave dwellers. Even cavemen weren't necessarily cave dwellers. They went to the entrances near the caves, like where there was light source, but they didn't go deep, deep, deep into caves.
Well, I think,
Grant says Motel 6.
They may live in a cave or overnight, or spend a small amount of time in a cave in an area that what do you call it, Steve? Their home range, maybe, or
where they're in territory,
wherever it is that they're currently at. Okay, they may spend some time there, but I don't think they're going to take up living residence.
Right. If they were in a cave, you got to understand this too. Yeah. If they lived in cave, that means they would have died in caves. And guess what? We would have found bones in caves.
Yeah. They'd also be easy to locate, right?
Right. You can easily get one backed up and trapped into a cave. It's never happened. And if you think about it, no other primate has really lived in caves. Even cavemen didn't really live deep into caves or anything like that. That's more myth. The Neanderthals and Homo erectus, they lived, in the fields. They lived on the plains. They lived, like the, arboreal Native Americans did.
Well, yeah, some of them were cave dwellers, though. But we're not talking. They couldn't see in the dark. But
right, yeah, they didn't go wandering. Stay here.
I remember the Homo naledi too. They lived in caves and unfortunately fell off in a big hole in the cave too.
That's right. Yes.
Either fell or were pushed. We're not sure.
You go to a foreign cave.
That's some of the theories of the Homo naledi documentary where that's where they disposed of their dead by pushing them off this big bluff in the cave, and some of the theories where they might have fallen. I don't know. But good show. If you get the chance, watch that documentary on the Homo naledi. It's good stuff. And we did a show about that here a while back. Yeah.
Yep, Gigano, Kaiju Ninja asks, weren't got Gigano bones found in caves? Not entirely sure. Maybe the teeth were, but the jaw bones were dug up.
They found the jaw bones and mostly teeth from Giganto in caves, but that wasn't because they lived there. It was because the ancient porcupines had dragged their bones into the cave and chewed them up. And because they loved the calcium from the bones. But the things that were left over were the things that were so hard that the porcupines couldn't quite chew up with their teeth. And that was things like the molars of the Giganto.
There you go.
And you can get a piece of a jawbone every now and then too somewhere. But we owe what we know about Giganto to porcupines. Thank you, Mr. Porcupine.
So there you go.
Oh, man.
Well,
I would like to live in a cave. It's really cool in the summer. Alrighty. Already.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, this has been a fun show. I really enjoyed this. Thanks everybody over in the chat for joining us. We appreciate you guys. I always say it and I always mean it. You guys are the greatest audience we could ever hope to have, and Steve and I are humbled by your presence, and every time you join us, thank you so much. This is only made possible because of you. If you hadn't joined if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, please click the button and do so. It's free, doesn't cost anything, helps us with the algorithm. And if you want to like what you see, you want to become a member, do that. It's only about the price of a cup of coffee or something like that. Oh, no, way less than the price of a cup of coffee now. But again, thanks you guys so much. We really appreciate you. And I forgot to mention the podcast, guys. So
no, it's all right. We haven't uploaded anything. We usually do that every few months. We'll upload a bunch. So it's all good. But if you're listening to us on the podcast, check us out over at youtube.com/@Squatch-D TV. And for me, Brian, no, I have not, because I'm still fighting this damn thing. It's going to be a little bit. Shorty, good to see you. Another person I met, Shorty Hentz, at the New York Bigfoot Conference.
Shorty.
So anyway.
Yeah, a cup of coffee is about $10 now, Shorty. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, consider joining the membership. It helps support honest and good research. We are always improving things either here in the studio or out in the field for technology. And, this is our midweek show. Hopefully by Friday, most of this will start even leaving more. I'm a lot better than I was last week. Once I get the bronch, it takes a little while for it to kick, especially with this screwy weather.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you guys. You are the best audience in the world. We couldn't do this without you. And we'll see you all here right next week on Squatch-D TV. We'll catch you all Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys, and keep on squatching.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.